Okay, this is part two of assertive communication. The previous video covered assertive listening and assertive speaking. Today, in this video, will include rules of self-expression and responding to criticism. I'm Rob Swanson. This is part of the Art of Discussion from the Academy of Lifelong Learning on Cape Cod. 5 rules for self-expression. Here they go. Number 1. Be direct. Never say, well, you ought to know that I was angry, or you ought to know that I love you. Say, I love you. I am angry. Be direct. Uh, don't make it a guessing game. That's not being fair. Number 2, be immediate. Immediate results in better communication and intimacy, and it also allows or disallows anger and emotion from building up, and the alienation that occurs while things are building up. So we want to be direct. Secondly, we want to be immediate with our self-expression, as immediate as we can be. Once we know what it is we would like to communicate. Sometimes that requires some time. Number 3, be clear. Of course we're being clear. Well, sometimes we don't want to be asking questions of someone when actually a statement is being called for. I don't want to say, why would you be serving pasta tonight? I'm thinking something else. For some reason, I don't think we should serve pasta. I need to say so rather than try to make a guessing game out of it. Why are you so quiet? Not good. That's not being clear. It's a judgment for one thing. Why do you always ... If it's a legitimate question, that's one thing. If it's a way of just kind of swerving around to bring up a subject so as to talk about it, you're not being clear. Be declarative. Make a statement. Don't ask a question instead. Number 4, be straight. Don't try to give an impression. If somebody makes an offensive statement, don't overly dramatize the offense so that they will know that what they did was really bad, even though it doesn't affect you as much as you're letting on. Be straight, be honest, not dramatic. Don't put on an air of fragility or an air of toughness or an air of intelligence. Just be straight. 5thly, be supportive. Be respectful and do not attack the other, even if the other is being critical. Being supportive means I avoid sarcasm, dragging up the past, negative comparisons, or threats. All of those are off the subject. Just a word about sarcasm. Everybody does it. If it is meant to bring out some irony, okay, might be cute. If it is meant to be cutting or derisive, no, it does not belong in the social discourse. We had some friends come over for dinner, and I greeted my friends and I said, well, tonight I'm the cook. Sometimes my wife cooks, sometimes it's me. You're going to get something that I made. It was soup, vegetable soup. It's delicious, by the way. My friend said, well, had I known you were the cook, I don't think I would have come. Is his attempt to be funny? I know him. I didn't think twice about it. But sarcasm, what do you think? Cutting? Ironic? Huh? Appropriate? I don't know what we can do with sarcasm, but it violates one of the 5 rules of effective self-expression. Be direct, be immediate, be clear, be straight, and be supportive. Um, how about criticism? Let's move on to that one. How to assertively respond to criticism. Since we were children, we've been getting criticized. And that criticism has never been a good thing. It makes us feel bad or put down or judged. Um, Yet sometimes criticism is necessary, but we're still children and we still don't handle it well. The person comes to a job performance review and says, "Oh, no, I'm quite interested in your criticism. I'd love to know what I'm doing wrong." I doubt it. People would. Sometimes it's very true, but most times people don't want to hear the criticism. But criticism comes. So how do we deal with criticism assertively? Three ways. We can acknowledge it. Secondly is clouding, which I'll tell you about in a moment. And thirdly is probing. First of all, acknowledging. Somebody gives a criticism, I can say, "You're right. You're right. I did it." I may not have to apologize. I don't have to give an excuse. I don't have to explain. All I have to do is say, "You criticize. I agree with you. That's correct. That's right." Number two, clouding. When criticism is non-constructive, manipulative, or accusing. When criticism is non-constructive or judging or accusing or manipulative, I need not respond. I do not need to be lured into a discussion about it. I may or I may not. If I am engaged in the discussion or making a discussion, here's what I could do. I could state the parts of the criticism that I agree with. You are correct in ... some things of what you said are correct, and you can agree with that. Secondly, you can agree with the probability of what a person said. Now, they criticize me, and it's not a fair criticism, but it could be. It could be. So I will acknowledge that part. Your videos here on the assertive communication are just way too long. Well, yeah, suppose so. Yeah, they could be. That's true. Thirdly, I can agree in logic. You're right. Criticism could come in saying, "You should not buy a canoe." And I can think about that, and I could think, this person's trying to manipulate me not to buy a canoe. But I'm not going to address that. Instead, what I'm going to say is, "You're right. Canoes can be dangerous. Are you nervous with canoes yourself? I would understand that." But in either case, criticism being received. We can acknowledge, there's clouding, and then there's probing. And this is done before, during, and after. What is the purpose of this criticism? Is it to hurt me? Is it to help me? Is it just simply a vent? Is it an attack? Or is this person actually trying to learn something? You can think about those things. Well, having seen the rules of self-expression and the comments regarding assertively responding to criticism, one of three ways, let me just mention one more thing in this particular video, and that is what to do when people do not accept a no. You've said no, and they keep coming back. The most effective response is called the broken record routine. You just keep saying no. No. Think of the person who's at your door trying to sell you something, lawn care or new windows or whatever, and they're giving you every reason to agree with them. No. 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 Sometimes when I know I've done this with tongue in cheek, but someone has come and I know a salesperson wants me to say yes, just yes to something, so they can get some more yeses out of me as the conversation goes forward. And I interrupt and I just say no. It does effectively end end the discussion. The broken record technique. Don't have to say no, but it can be just a one sentence response. If it's a good one, you can repeat it. Well, there you go. Assertive communication. More upcoming. Until next time, bye bye.